Johnson here, anchoring for the Labio. Today, Daphne is interviewing a new English and theater teacher, Miss Watkins.
Thanks, Sydney. Hi, Miss Watkins. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I know this is your first year teaching at Westboro, but how long have you been teaching?
Oh, good question. I've been teaching it depends on how you define teaching, but let's see, I was a special education aide at Algonquin Regional High School, so that was for about 2 years. And then in terms of teaching content-wise, teaching English, I'd say I don't know, this is like my second year, I guess, because I student taught and then I was a long-term sub at Wachusett Regional High School in the spring, this past spring. So this is my first like full-time teaching year, but I guess you could count it as maybe year two, I guess.
Why did you decide to become a teacher?
Good question. I always kind of had a weird resistance to the idea at first. When I told people I was majoring in English for college, they were like, "Oh, so you're going to be a teacher?" And I was like, "No, it's not really in the plan. Like maybe, I don't know, but we'll see." I thought I was maybe going to go into like publishing or something. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But basically, I got a job after graduating college, and it was kind of just one that I kind of had a little bit of an in at. It was at Boston College, and it was in the accounts payable office, which really isn't my my thing. But I had a job, a real job. I was like, oh, I'm going to do that. It didn't really work out only because the commute was very long and it wasn't quite what I wanted to do. I was considering moving around, like, oh, maybe I'll go to like student affairs or something. But it just wasn't panning out. And so I left. It was kind of hard, but I left, and then I didn't really know what I was doing. I was subbing at Hudson High School, just day-to-day subbing, and I was like, maybe I could be in a school setting. And once I decided that's what I wanted to do, I had the date for my MTELs, and then everything just kind of, corny as it sounds, everything kind of felt right. And it's been an ongoing path, but once I knew the path, at least, it felt good. So yeah, that's kind of my weird journey becoming a teacher.
With the current pandemic, what are some challenges like making a curriculum?
Yes. So for me, right now, so I had the personal narrative unit that we did the first few weeks, and that kind of lined up nicely with everybody, even my remote class, which is period one. But now that we're reading a book and I have four of the same class and the same level, it's already like my head is already spinning with like who's reading what and who's doing what day, and then throw in the cohorts in there as well. So then I'm just making sure like that's balanced. And so I would just say just kind of all the moving pieces and parts is a lot to think about on top of everything else already. And then planning for like the away days and what's that going to look like and things like that. So that's definitely a challenge. But I think everybody's trying their best and everybody's kind of in this together kind of thing. Again, corny as it sounds. So yeah, so it's definitely challenging, but I'm also excited, to be
Yeah.
here too. So.
And lastly, how much do you think this pandemic will affect students' learning?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah, that's tough. I think it's going to affect. I think it's going to affect a lot of things. Not only as you said, students learning, but I think just a lot of like social things. We talk about like social emotional. I think a lot of things like that are going to be affected, and to varying degrees, depending on the student. But it really just depends on I think about a lot of like the younger kids and how that must be extremely difficult. Students that maybe are having a tough time like mental health wise. I think that's been a big concern, continues to be. And not only for students, but I think like everybody is going to come out affected from this pandemic in some way, shape, or form. So it's definitely going to be tough. And when we do kind of maybe return to some kind of normal, we are going to see some gaps in learning and like socialization, all those things. But I think right now we just kind of have to do what we can, take it one step at a time. But yeah, I definitely think there are going to be some long lasting consequences, I think, of this.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Ms. Watkins. And this is Daphne Cabrera reporting for the Lobby Observer. Back to Sydney.
Wow, that was very interesting. Hope the rest of the year goes smoothly for you. Thank you for watching. This is Cindy Johnson, anchoring for the Labio.